Today, we're going to talk about how you can be yourself, have a great career, make good money, and live the life of your dreams. All you need to do is embrace your authentic self and move forward in the gifts and skills that the good Lord has given you. I got a guest coming on today. And I'm going to let her introduce herself so she can share her journey and her story to help those of you who are in doubt, wondering, can I make money doing this? Is this possible? Can I really leave the school system? And if so, what am I going to do? Do I have to start over from the bottom? How does this really work? And so I want to introduce to you all Miss Esty, an arts educator. Hello, Esty, and welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Dr. D. How are you today?
I am absolutely amazing. Happy 2024. And I hope you're off to an amazing start to the year.
I am having an amazing start to 2024. I'm excited. I was just going over my 2023 recap and looking at all that I was able to get through in 2023, which was super exciting. Now, don't get me wrong, it was a trying year, but because I surrounded myself with the right people, I still got a lot done, and I'm very grateful for that.
That is so awesome to hear. Look here, I want you to tell folks a little bit about your journey, what your background, and I think that this is really interesting because you're an arts educator, and a lot of times people will believe that when you pick a thing that you're stuck in that one thing. So tell us a little bit about your journey and what you're doing now.
My journey has been one of many ups and downs. So I started subbing. I was in the film industry. I didn't have any intention of really being a teacher, but the kids grew on me while I was subbing. They created a position for me because I was doing so well with their kids. And so, when stuff like that happens, it's like, okay, this is interesting. You're creating a course for me to teach. I can't pass that up. Sounds like a great opportunity. I'm there. I'm working with the kids. Everyone is telling me that I don't belong in the classroom. Like I should be doing something else. Still in education, but they're like, you're so talented. You need to go over here and, you need to be on the other side of this. You need to be helping other teachers figure this thing out. And mind you, I didn't know. I was just a happy person, happy to have steady income, because anybody who knows the film industry, it's project to project, it's up and down, and it's crazy. So I was very excited to just have a little bit of stability, and I got comfortable. I saw with the kids, how they were responding to me, and I saw the impact that art was having on them, because once they found out, oh, you're an artist, they let me teach art class. Like, charter schools, they do what they want to do sometimes, and they just kept creating spaces for me to be. And when space is created for you, it makes you feel good. So I stayed in a place where other people could see I didn't need to be there, but I didn't see it yet. Fast forward, I'm in a new school, no longer teaching the very thing that I had passion for. They put me in a different course because multiple subject. However, while I was there, I was able to see that the essence of having arts projects and the different arts projects that I integrated into my course got the kids working. And the other teachers were like, how are you getting these kids to do your assignments? Because they're not doing my work. So I showed them, and I began to really see, okay, you know what? Maybe there's a little bit more to this than just being in the classroom. And I said, I need to do something different. Life got to lifing. My mom,
As it does.
life got to lifing. My mother transitioned, and that was the pivotal moment where I got to slow down and pause.
Mm.
In that pause, I was able to really think, what is it that I'm doing daily that brings me joy, and what doesn't bring me joy? And if it doesn't bring me joy, why do I continue to subject myself to it? Because in that moment, I realized you only get one life.
Right.
And I knew that there were so many dreams and things that my mother did not get to accomplish because
Mm.
she was worried about the kids. She was doing what she needed to do, put her dreams on the back burner so that she could, take care of us. And I said to myself, why can I not do what I love and still have a good life? Why is it the choice that has to be made? And in that process, there was a lady from St. Louis who came across my feed and I invested in myself. It was scary. It was scary. But I invested in this mastermind program that showed me how I could take my teaching skills and use them to create a bigger impact. And I said, okay, let's see what this is about. And I was very excited about the program and everything that was going on. But in it, I was still not holding true to myself because I had this whole idea going on of what success looked like, or what
Mhm.
a what a successful company looks like, and there's still that whole starving artist lie going on in my mind. It's like, well, it can't be art centered because people don't care about arts like that. And like all these things were going on in my mind, and I was trying to find what I thought would work. And while I put together a good package during the mastermind, it was a good package. It was winning bids and different things. However, I still didn't feel like it was true to me. And so I had to go ahead and take a step back, reevaluate, pivot, and look at what is it at my core that I love that brings me joy. And that was the poetry, that was the visual arts, and that package got redesigned. And and now I'm so excited about being able to go ahead and share this with the world.
So there are some who would wonder, they will say, so what do you mean poetry? What do you mean? Tell us about what this looks like. What is it that you're doing now?
So now I am helping people engage in poetry in a way that builds social emotional capacity. So their spoken word is a powerful tool for telling stories and connecting students to literacy. And that is something that everyone's trying to figure out. How do we get these kids interested in reading? How do we get them interested in writing? Give them a way to express themselves first, where they are connecting with the stories that are being told and they're able to share. And that right there brings so much clarity, it brings healing, it brings transformation to students. When I tell you, the open mics are full of kids who are coming to share their stories. If we can recreate that in the school, now you got them excited about being able to show up and share who they are. There's been studies that show when kids are connected to the lessons, when they feel like they can see themselves, they remember the work, they do the work, and they are more successful academically.
All right. Awesome. 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 So, you've already transitioned from the classroom.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, and what is the level of freedom do you feel, or do you feel freedom? And how is this working out for you now?
The level of freedom to be able to wake up and not rush to the school and not have to sit in the parking lot and give myself the pep talk. You know the talk. When you're sitting in the parking lot, you're like, okay, we gonna make it. We gotta make it till 4 o'clock, 4:30. We just to not have to do that anymore, to be able to wake up and go on a walk and clear my mind and let the ideas flow is the most beautiful feeling that I believe everyone should experience.
Wow. So, what did you, now, folks are wondering, because freedom ain't free. What did you have to sacrifice to get here?
Ooh, I had to let go of the limiting thoughts that I had in my mind because when you're someone who comes from adversity, when you're someone who comes from things not always panning out the way that you expect them to, it's so easy to see the negative in everything, to automatically look at something and say, oh, that's not going to work. But I had to let that go because I saw me thinking this way has gotten me where it's gotten me. And it has not been able to produce the life that I wanted. So I had to retrain my mind and I had to invest in a coach who could help me to keep my mind right. I had to surround myself with people who were heading in the same direction as me. And that was very pivotal in being able to reach where I am today, being able to have the contracts that I have, being able to network with the people. I wouldn't have been going to any of these types of events where people and decision makers are in the room had I not invested for somebody to show me the way. It's so much out there on, yes, YouTube and all those things are there. However, if you're not willing to invest, you could spend years trying to figure something out in the information world versus allowing someone who already has a path laid out to show you the way. Why make it hard on yourself? Why?
I keep trying to get them to understand. Stop making it hard on yourself, people. If you have a different dream in your heart, all you need to do is go after it and be willing to take on the opportunity when it comes before you. So tell us, what do you have upcoming, and like also tell us like what is a typical day like for you, because I think that is I think that some people think that when you have freedom, that you just do whatever you want to, whenever you want to. But tell us what a typical day looks like for you. And then tell us what you have coming up and how you prepared for it.
A typical day for me, I get up, I do my meditation. That is a non negotiable. I have to be able to sit before the Lord and hear what He has for me to do in that day. And then in that comes getting on that computer and sending them emails. There is no amount of it's just gonna come to you. That does not happen. It doesn't just come. And you have to put in the work to reach out. So I schedule emails. I respond to emails. I'm sending proposals out. I'm working on RFPs. I'm looking for the RFPs that are something that I feel are in alignment with what I want to do. I'm no longer in a space where I just have to search and accept anything. I now can look and filter through work and see, does this align with who I am? And if it does align with who I am, okay, let's make the pitch. Let's write the proposal. Let's send the email. Let's get on the phone and make the calls. Y'all, we got to get on the phone. And I'm saying that because I don't like getting on the phone, but it's part of the process. That's the sacrifice that has to be made to get to the life that you want. You got to get on the phone. So that is another part of my day, making calls. And then exercise, because I have to exercise. I got to be able to use this body to get where I want to go. So where do I want to go? I'm very excited that I have two conferences coming up this month in January. So on the 20th, I will be in Baltimore at the Progressive. Ooh, let me get the name right. Hold on, because I don't want to misquote the name of the conference, but I will be at this conference in the 13th annual Progressive Education Summit. There it is. And that is in Baltimore. I'll be doing a session on innovating through arts integration. So, using arts integration to help you in your culturally responsive initiative. That is something that I'm very passionate about. Representation, making sure that the curriculum speaks to the students and they can see themselves in it, because when they can see themselves, they're going to do the work. Like we have to find ways to get creative and stop fighting against the grain for them to just do this work that is uninteresting to them. We have to make it interesting. So I will be in Baltimore, and then I will be in Texas on the 27th. And I'll be doing a session geared towards arts integration for social studies. So, using arts integration in the social studies space, I'll be doing a session there as well. So, I'm super excited. And then in February, I'll be in Dallas. So, I've got a few things coming up at the National Best Practices Conference. So, we've got conferences coming up, and it's all because I was willing to put in the work. People cannot hire, they can't reach out, they can't accept what they don't know exists. So you can have the best idea in the world, but if you don't share it, nobody's going to know.
And so I just need to know so that other people can know, what did it do for you when you learned? Okay, so you said you were doing one thing and it didn't feel true to you because you were not embracing your true passion and your true authenticity. And so you made a pivot. And in this pivot, it was a little risky. You were a little scared to do it. And now you have these major school movements and conferences where thousands of people have submitted to be a part of it, to speak to people. And they've said, hey, SDU, we would love for you to come and share your view, your expertise, your philosophy. What does that do for you? And what does that say to you about the work that you're doing?
It is a feeling of be you, because when they accepted my proposal, when I got that email that said proposal accepted, it just gave me confirmation that I was in the right space, that I was doing the right thing. And that is the best feeling in the world, to know what you're doing is needed and it's necessary. Because they wouldn't have accepted it if they felt like there was no need for what I presented. So that lets me know there's a need, there's a want, and I need to just show up as me. I don't need to be anybody else. The ideas that I'm given are good. And I want people to understand the ideas that you are given, they're good. They might need a little reworking, which is fine, but you will never know if you don't share.
That's right. So a part of the process is build, tell, sell. You got to build it. You got to tell other people about it, and then you got to sell it. Sell it. That's what's called having a business, running an education company. And so it's part of the process, but the payout is so much greater. You get more time. You get more creative freedom. You make way more money in less amount of time. and only doing the things that you absolutely love. So, to me, it's a no brainer. But to my understanding, you also support educators who need a little support in doing this work. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, yes. Having someone hold your hand and walk you through being able to do this work, I believe is important. Because when I was in the classroom, y'all, they just threw me in there, and I didn't have a curriculum. I didn't have anything. They gave me the room and said, "Here you go," because I was so good with the kids. Figure it out. There was no set curriculum. I had to piece things together. It was work. It was work, and I didn't have anybody that I could ask questions to. There was no one else doing what I was doing, so I was able to figure it out. But I don't want other people to have to go through that. That was not fun. So if you're somebody, if you're somebody who is like, I keep hearing this thing about arts integration, and I want my students to be more engaged, but you're unsure how to do it, you don't have to look any further because I'm here to help you. If you are one of those people who is like, I want to do it, but I need support, I'm here to support. And I'm so excited about my Reach to Teach cohort because I will help with the relationship building. Because one thing about these kids, especially if you work in an urban school, they're not listening to you if they don't feel like you care. They're not listening to you at all. If they don't feel the vibe, it's not happening. So, building relationships is key to getting that engagement up. Engagement through arts integration is what we're talking about. So, relationship building, engagement through arts integration, culturally responsive teaching, and the hard work that you need to work on yourself. Because I'm so tired of seeing educators not using their sick time, showing up when they know they need to be at home. I was one of them. Saving your sick days for when you're not sick. Come on, let's be real. We need to have a plan in place that is going to help us continue to be able to show up to do the work. So we're going to talk about how you can take care of yourself and look at, do you have any plans in place for taking care of yourself? Because a lot of educators that I know do not. So that is what we will be talking about, and it begins at the end of January. So I look forward to helping those who are ready to help themselves.
All right. And when you talk about self care, I was talking to an educator yesterday, said they got 180 days of sick time that has built up. 180 days, has not taken a day off from work in the past 7 years at all, never missed a day in 7 years, and was saying it like it was an accolade. Like, and it was amazing to me. So what ended up happening was you can't accumulate any more sick days. And now the question was posed, what happens when I get ready to retire? Can I still take my sick days? And they told her no. They said, no, we'll pay you out $25 a day. Now, we make more than $25 a day. So for the sick, $25 a day. And so for all that she went through, she's being punished essentially for not taking sick days. But you're not going to tell me that in 7 years there was never a need for you to take a moment for yourself. But those are some of those things that we've been taught: to go to school, get perfect attendance, show up for the kids, even when we're not showing up for ourselves, because you done had a headache, a stomach ache, just didn't get enough sleep, need a mental health day, whatever the case may have been. I also wonder how many people in her own family did she let down because she was never available, because they already knew she wasn't missing work. She's not going to miss work. And we miss our nieces and nephews, extracurricular activities at school, recitals, all of those things. So that self-care piece is really important, and it's a mindset issue that we, especially in the little bit of an older generation, we have to work through, because we were told, they drowned us with perfect attendance awards. I got a
Oh,
perfect attendance award every day. I mean, every year of my school life. I was the first one in my family to miss school because I got injured and had to go out for surgery. But I have four other siblings. They never missed a day of school. I had never missed a day of school until seventh grade ever in life. And so those are mindset issues that we need to work through. But that's neither here nor there. So tell the people how they can connect with you, because your story may have sparked something with somebody. Maybe there's someone who wants to know more about the cohort that's starting, or maybe there is someone who knows that this is in alignment with what their school is working through. How can the people contact you?
yes. So they can reach me on all the social channels at arts.reach.consulting. Arts Reach Consulting. And they can go ahead and reach out, and I will be glad to see how we can align and work together.
All right. And what piece of advice would you have for someone who is at that point where they know they need to do something different? They know they can have a greater impact. And quite frankly, they're no longer happy in their current situation. What is the piece of advice or recommendation that you would give to them?
To anyone who is not feeling satisfied with the day to day of what they're doing, I would highly recommend you slow down. And in this society, everything is go, 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 move. You don't have time to think. And taking a day, a whole day, where you sit and you evaluate what it is that is bringing you joy, what it is that you actually desire to do. If money wasn't an issue, what would you want to do? That's where you begin, because we can't let money rule us. That's not the problem, and that's what it is. We're so inundated with bills and all these other things. We were not put on this earth to live and work to pay bills. That's not living. So, what is it that you want? What brings you joy? What comes easy to you? Taking a day to evaluate those things, I think, is a great start. And then once you know what those things are, looking at who is someone who's already doing those things and has been successful, and finding a way to learn from that person. And if you don't have it to make the investment, one, find a way. Because it's worth it. Find the way. But there is a lot of free information out there. And if you apply the free, you'll be able to invest in the next level of help that you need. That's my advice.
All right. Well, Esty, I want to thank you for coming on, sharing your story. I know that there are many arts educators who listen to the podcast and who are also on the Facebook page. If you are not currently following me on YouTube, I need you to run on over to YouTube and subscribe to Educators Moving On Official. And if you're not subscribed to this podcast, I would wonder why. Press that button and press that like button, and also leave me a review, 5-star only, please. And these arts educators are out here. They are gifted. They are talented. They have a lot that's available to them. But a lot of times we don't know what's available because we've never looked and we've never asked. And so I think it's really important for us to bring people on such as you, who are doing amazing things, having great success, living your life at a level that you are totally satisfied with. And it's an inspiration to others, because not everybody gets to be their authentic selves. Not everybody gets to show up as their regular selves and not feel like they are being twisted into a ball and made to do things that are not aligned with them. And so I feel like this story is one that other people can relate to. And so I want to thank you for your transparency and being willing to even share your journey with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And anybody out there who is just not happy, really take that day. evaluate what is it that brings you joy. And if you don't know, that right there should show you something. If you can't answer that question, that says a whole lot within itself.